All right, welcome everyone to another segment of Fitted to Fish presented by Tampa Fishing Outfitters. You probably saw our first video where we went over the ins and outs and the intricacies of all the cast nets that's offered inside the humpback lineup. Now we're gonna get out here and show you how to throw one. All right, so we're gonna get into coming off of our video where we talked about the different mesh sizes, lengths, weight ratios. Now we're gonna get into how to throw one of these cast nets. Well, I typically like a 12-foot net here. We're gonna do a demo on a 10-foot net as that's our most popular size and that's the most requested one that people wanna come in and figure out how to throw. I think what you'll find is when you jump up from anything below 10 foot and you get into that 10-foot or larger cast net, it's gonna be much easier the more you divide that net. So we're gonna be going over the triple load method, all right? Of course, this isn't the only way. There's 1,000 different ways. It's just the way I do it. For me, day in, day out, 200 plus days on the water. This is gonna give me the least amount of fatigue on my back, but also produce the best result in terms of a full open net that I need to catch bait. All right, first thing you need to ask yourself is, which hand do I throw with? So I usually say, ask the Frisbee question. I throw a Frisbee with my right hand, so that's the way I wanna mimic throwing the cast net, is the same way you do that. If you throw with your left hand, everything's gonna be opposite here. But for this video, we're doing throw the Frisbee with your right hand, all right? So first thing you're gonna do is just put the rope over the left hand if you throw with your right hand, all right? So I just go over. Now there's a lot of people who double it over, cinch it down. For me, I've seen too many accidents and things happen with that net tied down. I've never had a problem with coming off, but that's totally optional, however you want to secure that. And then you're gonna make some big loops. I call them arm length loops, all right? And you're just gonna coil that rope using arm length. And the reason I like to go arm length and not smaller is I want the least amount of rope material in my hand because I'm gonna also be putting a lot of this mesh in there. All right, so big loops. Doesn't need to be perfect. Just when you get to the end, what you wanna make sure is you don't have too much rope hanging like I do here. So I'll come back one more time and just grab it so it's nice and close to that swivel there, all right? You're gonna stretch the net all the way out. One key thing is the horn on the net, this plastic piece which divides all of your braille lines here, you want that to be as close to the top as you can. So sometimes you may need to walk away, stretch it out a little bit, but get it up there close so that you don't have all this extra braille hanging out. That's just begging for a tangle, all right? So get it close. On a 10-foot net, I'll choke up about a foot or so from the bottom of the horn, putting that in my left hand. Always keeping my palms to the sky and thumbs out whenever I'm touching the net and grabbing the net. That's just gonna keep everything together real nice, all right? So you're gonna walk it down. You need to get this to about waist high, all right, or belt loop high. So once I've got it there in my right hand, you can drop that out. And like I said, palms to the sky, thumbs out, everything's gonna go into the left hand. So now I've got the entire net loaded in the left hand. First, we're gonna get a little bit of the net to go over our shoulder. So I like to flip all that excess out of the way, get it out of the way. Then basically wherever your left foot is, wherever your left toe is, grab the net somewhere in there, and you wanna pick off about 10% of the net, making sure that when you do that, you don't get any excess braille lines that are gonna cause a tangle. Once you have that, flip it right over the left shoulder. There's a lot of people who like to go under the shoulder. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but for me, this is the most time effective and it works. So go over the shoulder with that. Next, you have the option. You can either put this in your teeth and start to load it, but you don't have to, all right? So since I need to talk while I'm doing this, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna get the net, load up about, 25, 30% of this net, all right? Making sure, again, that as I'm doing it, I'm not creating any new tangles in it. Once I've got that, these 3 fingers are what's gonna hold the bulk of the net I loaded. The index and the thumb need to grab a lead ball. So I like to keep those out and just kind of roll it down, just so I get those 3 fingers around the middle of the net. And then with the index and the thumb, grab a lead ball, all right? So now I'm loaded up and ready to throw. And the key to this throw is really about momentum. You can spin, you can torque your body, but whatever you do is you wanna make sure you can get enough momentum. This net is a 10-foot, 1.6 pounds per foot, so it's 16 pounds of net here. So it takes a little bit of force to get this thing rolling. For me, I just like to sway the net, rock it forward, rock it back, and then launch it. And when I say when you're launching it, think about like you're throwing a bucket of water on somebody, all right? That launch is just gonna be right at your target. I'm not gonna try and shoot it way up in the air and have it land on somebody. I'm gonna try and splash that target directly in front of me. And last but not least, definitely not least, most important, is that lead ball that I've got in my fingers. That's the last part of the net you need to let go. I say that because when you put that resistance and you pull back or hold on to that lead ball, That is what's gonna make the net spin and open up. If you fail to do that, what you're gonna find is you're gonna be throwing a lot of net out there, and it's gonna kind of look like in that banana shape. Hopefully I don't do that now. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give this thing a launch. We're gonna take a look at it, maybe even slow it down for you and assess kind of how that throw looked and see if there's any issues with it, all right? So like I said, little momentum forward, little momentum back, making sure those weights stay in unison. What you don't want to happen is when you start rocking forward and back is these things bumping in together. If you're bumping in together, you're not timing it right, okay? So we're just gonna rock it forward, rock it back. So we threw the net. We've got a pretty decent spread here. I've definitely seen better, but this is gonna get you bait every time. What's important is that it's all spread out and you don't have a bunch of stack here in the middle. And honestly, with these newer nets, they might have a little bit of memory. As you start to throw and use this net, that's gonna work itself out and open even wider. But this will get bait anywhere, whether it's flats, deep water. A spread like this with a 10-foot net, that's gonna go down, it's gonna sink fast, it's gonna make a nice big opening, and you're gonna whack them, all right? What I encourage you to do if you can, get into the store, Tampa Fishing Outfitters. Most of the staff here is gonna be able to take you outside, do this one-on-one with you, and you guys can diagnose your net skills together, figure out which net's gonna be best for you. All right, so come on in. Thanks for watching Fitted to Fish. Captain James Beers here with Tampa Fishing Outfitters.